Good evening. Welcome to the Academy's 2019 Spring Awards Ceremony. Just a friendly reminder to please silence your cell phones. We'd appreciate as few distractions as possible. I would like to welcome our great student, Jamal Washington, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jamal. Well done. Good evening. Welcome students, family, and friends. We are honored you chose to join us tonight to celebrate the great accomplishments of our Wolfpack students. We're very proud of all they have worked for and achieved and honored to celebrate them tonight. I am Rebecca Greenwood. I started the year as a science teacher here and I'm now in a new role as the instructional coach and looking forward to this great evening. We are going to jump right in and have our senior advisor who is here, Ms. Blanchette, come and talk to us about graduation. Let's welcome her. Good job.
Hi, everybody. Raise your hand if you are graduating this May 24th. All right. Raise your hand if you are a potential December graduate. Okay, so almost the rest of you. All right, so graduation, of course, for the Academy is a time-honored tradition that all the other schools have, but if you've never been to an Academy graduation, if you're a December grad, I would encourage you to come see the May graduates. It is open to the public. There are no tickets required. It's held at the Charlotte Performing Arts Center in Punta Gorda, which is right on Carmelita next to Charlotte High School. And it's just one of those really amazing, emotional, very, you get it all out after really just, all of the years of struggle or successes and stuff that the students have had. So if you're not graduating this May, for sure I encourage you and invite you to come join us. For those of you who are, just a quick reminder, graduation is Friday, May 24th. It starts at 4 o'clock. Okay, I know that's an inconvenient time for some of you, but because of the way that CPAC is scheduled and the school board members, et cetera, that's when we have our graduation for May. So Friday, May 24th at 4 p.m., CPAC Auditorium in Punta Gorda is the graduation ceremony. Graduates, you need to be at practice at 9:30 in the morning, same morning, at the CPAC. It is mandatory to come to practice. If you do not attend practice, you cannot participate in the ceremony. You can still get your diploma, you can come to the school and pick it up, but you cannot participate in the ceremony if you do not attend practice. So please make sure you're there. Practice is casual. You don't have to wear anything special. It should end around 12:30. We'll feed you a quick lunch. You'll get your senior t-shirt. You'll get your cap and gown. You'll be dismissed, and then you'll be required to come back to the CPAC auditorium at 3 o'clock. The doors open for those of you who are looking for premium seats because there are no tickets available. Doors will open at 3. So of course it's first come, first serve if you want to get a good seat to fit. It fits. We can hold May graduation, December fits fine. May, typically depending on the graduating class, is standing room only. But I feel like this ceremony, everybody should be able to have a good seat. So if you want to get close, I suggest you get there at 3 o'clock. If you have any questions about cap and gowns, if you have not paid for it, make sure, absolutely, the deadline has already passed, but please get that in ASAP. It's $50, cash only. We don't take credit cards or checks, up in the front office, and make sure that whomever you're giving it to, you denote that this is specifically for cap and gown. If you're getting a yearbook, if you paid extra for the yearbook when you paid your senior dues, that will be coming to you this week as well. If you have any questions, parents or students, parents, you can call me or go on Focus and email me. Students, you can come see me in D Hall with any questions or concerns about graduation. All right? Thanks.
Okay, we're going to get right to our awards this evening. I know you're all anxious. To start us off, we have our leader, Mr. Ham.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much. First, thanks, Jamal. Well done, sir, for the pledge. We appreciate you honoring our country to get this award ceremony started. Good evening, everyone, students, families, friends, and guests, and again, welcome to the 2019 Spring Academy Awards ceremony. It is an honor to have you all here tonight to celebrate our Academy students' success in the classroom. Each year I find it amazing how fast this semester comes to an end. This is fun but stressful time of year as we try and wrap up graduation requirements for all our potential graduates. We're in the middle of testing and, of course, to get all those final grades in the grade book. Nevertheless, the ceremony helps us catch a quick breath before graduation, allows us to reflect on the academic accomplishments of our students. Furthermore, tonight we'll allow you to see how important a positive relationship between our teachers and students can contribute to classroom success. The connection between the teacher and the student is a direct correlation of learning. Our staff prides its development with professional relationships that will allow this one struggling student to regain their desire to enjoy and appreciate their education. What you see tonight is how much we really love your kids and our kids. I'm very proud and honored to be of the Academy. And to sum it up before I hand it over to the teachers, every class that graduates, and I think I'm going to be doing it's got to be close to my 10th commencement. And when I was a teacher, I taught 7 periods, and there was always that period that just drove you nuts. First period they were sleepy, 7th period they were tired. Usually around 4th period after lunch where they just really didn't want to give you much and they're a pain in the butt. That's this group. This group has been very draining, very high maintenance. We love you individually. When you meet with them one-on-one, they're great children. As a group, we are happy to see you go. And so this is just a gentle reminder for me personally that you will be leaving, but successfully. And that's the main idea behind this whole madness, because we do know one day you grow up and you will appreciate this opportunity you had at the Academy. So thank you for trusting us with your children, families. And tonight's a little fun because our teachers get to tease the kids a little bit and kind of reflect on some of the success in the classroom. We'll give some scholarships out tonight. We'll give the Owl Star Award by Mr. Underhill, and then I finish the night up with the Principal's Award, and then we're out of here. So we are very quick and precise and personal. You should be in your cars by 7:15. Okay, that's how we roll. So without further ado, in the spring, we reverse the roll. We go backwards, so Mrs. Underhill is going to start us off, and then we'll finish with the A's, or in this case, the B's, because I think every teacher has a B in their name. All right, Mrs. Underhill. Let's give it up. Thank you.
I kind of debate, that's better. I kind of debated having everybody wait, as I build the anticipation and say their names and woo, but that takes too long. So, Day, where are you? Get up here. Haley, I saw you somewhere. You're over there too. And Clarissa, get up here. You're over there. Stand up. Come stand next to me while I embarrass you. Get over here. Both of you. Michael, are you here? Anybody seen Michael Taylor? His speech just got longer. We'll make fun of him. And I don't think Rosie's here. Is Rosie here? Well, Michael got excellence in academic excellence because he's that one that everybody goes, where'd you come from and where have you been? And he's just a super great kid. And Rosie got moxie because she got tons of it. Kid can sit and stare at you and not say a word, and you go, how did you just know all of that? So, who should I start with? You're going down. Get over here. This is Dayana. Okay. I actually wrote a long one for her. It's only a few pages. I know, right? Get over here. Actually, it's unique because all of us have spent our whole careers just preaching, and you do, and you feel like nobody's getting it. It's all going over your head. And this one's the same way. But I'm here to tell you guys that everything you thought she wasn't listening to, she's hearing. Because she, I found out, can sit there with her headphones in, listening to music, who knows what, while doing homework for another class, and as soon as I ask a question and nobody answers, she'll be like, come on, y'all, and I'll try to stump her, she goes over the top. I'm like, how did you just do that? And as soon as the other kids like are just looking at me like I'm just speaking a different language, she can reword things with great colloquial vigor and make them understand what I just said. So she's also got this great feeling for music and vision and how you see things. And Miss Myers, just so you know, when I was trying to pull things together for both English and a video class that she's actually in this semester, I was like, how do I make this? And then all of a sudden, she started seeing all those things out of Miss Myers' class, and she can tell you how to watch a movie and find the figurative language and the metaphors and where even the seminal speeches were placed within each scene. And it was just this whole epiphany I had that how it all comes together, and she's the reason I can do it. And now I'll say, hey, what do you think about this for a lesson? She's like, nah, do it this way. And I'll be like, all right then, I can do that. So she's smart.
I like that.
Yeah, you are. So she is what I call my validator. She's the one who I can look at and go, she's like, no, don't do it that way, do it this way. Or she just is, I'm like, that's why I've been trying to make it all make sense. And she just brought my old world of doing television together with my teaching world, and I went, okay, I am speaking the right language. Thank you. So she's my validator, so that's my day. Good job. Thank you. Only I lost track of you. Oh, no, because you were supposed to be third, but they didn't show up, dude. That's for you. It is? Okay. So, next up is going to be, let's go with Clarissa. You were late. You were. So, this one is she's academic integrity. It doesn't say enough. She literally does not want the answers. She wants to know why you got it, where you got it from, and how come. And then she wants to know all of the history behind that very large word. And you're like, dude, I just wanted you to look at line 34. I didn't want to have to explain all of the civil rights movement. But okay, we can do that. So she wants to know all of it because she wants to understand it. She doesn't want to just finish. Her academic integrity is just so far above par and just what everybody wants everybody to reach for, but then you don't because you know that all of them are going to sit and stare at you and keep asking you questions, and frankly, I don't know all the answers. So, academic integrity, because you will go far asking that many questions. Good for you. Thank you. There you go. And then there's strawberry shortcake. This is my favorite look from Haley. She'll sit in the back like, really? Really? What else? And I'm just like, okay, that was English. Good. I'm glad they all understood. Because this one, when everybody else looks at me like they're looking at wallpaper, she's in the back going, it makes sense. Or she's just inquisitive. She'll ask questions, and then she will look at me like, don't go there right now. And I'm like, okay, I'm done for today, right? Because everybody else is just zoned out. Or she'll help me, like when I'm saying, I'll go way off the deep end. I got to tell you, I'll sit there for hours researching things and going, I've got this great idea. I'm going to impart all of my educational wisdom. And she'd be like, no, dude, stop, come back. She's like, they're going to go here. And one day I started to, and she's like, I didn't even understand it when you explained it yesterday. Don't go there right now. I'm like, okay. So the rest of you should be thankful, because she brings me back. So, she's my smile in the morning to check in to say, we're going to make it through the day. And then a smile in the afternoon that goes, tomorrow's another day. So it's just always that she's my sanity. She's the one that checks in with me to go, we're still all on the same planet. It's all just, it's school and we're getting there. And she looks at me and just kind of does, the way she loves school and the way she just loves to learn it reminds all of us while we're all here and what we're doing. So she just brings a little sanity into what can be a very long year. So there's Haley. She's my sanity check. So thank you. Love you. Cool. These two aren't here. So who's next? Is it Lisa? Miss Peralt is up next. That's yours.
Hello, my name is Lisa Peralt, and I teach English and Social Studies here at the Academy. I would like to call forward Brian Wilkins, Davida Booth, Jen Wilds, and Shanae Davis. While my other three are coming up, Brian had to work tonight. We talked this morning. Brian was a student who is a student who I had the pleasure of teaching in the 6th grade. I taught 6th grade math to him. We both came from Lee County schools. 8th grade, I taught him English and intensive reading, and now I have him for social studies. I figure I could get certified in science and go for the Grand Slam, maybe next year. But Brian was receiving an award from me for outstanding gains in U.S. history because he made the biggest gains from our beginning of year test to the end of year. He really knocked the socks off of it, and it's been nice to see him grow up. So we're going to talk again tomorrow morning, and I'll present him with his award. But Brian's a good kid, and I'm happy to give him that award. Next is Davida. Come here, Davida. So Davida is getting the award for outstanding positive attitude. I have to tell you that sometimes, some days are easier than others, some days are harder than others, but no matter what, this young lady comes to my class with the smile that you see on her face. It's on her face all the time. It is just there all the time, and it really makes it a pleasure to have her come to class. No matter what's going on in her life, she is the same positive person in my class every day. What I really like about Davida is that she asks me to really go through her papers with a fine-tooth comb, and she wants to know about every single mistake so she can make it better next time. And we've come so far that her work is basically flawless now, so I have really appreciated that. So Davida, I want you to keep smiling, and you are amazing. Good job. And I'm actually going to call Jen next. Jen is in my history class, and Jen is receiving the award for academic excellence in U.S. history. Pretty sure if I had Jen for English, she would be receiving the award for academic excellence in English, because she just exudes so much excellence. Jen was the only person in my U.S. history class when we did our last progress report that had absolutely no missing assignments. She was 100% caught up. She's so conscientious. If she misses a moment of class, she finds me later in the day and comes in, what did I miss? And she's got it done by the end of the day. So she is super conscientious, and I know that she too has had a different road to get here. So I just want you to keep being excellent, and I hope that I have you for English. So. I don't even know half those words. You will. You will. And my final award goes to Miss Shanae Davis. And yes, woo! Because she is amazing. Shanae is receiving the award for most likely to publish a best-selling novel. I know. I promise you, this is going to happen. We write journals every day in English class, and Shanae has started submitting hers electronically by email. Sometimes she writes them in her journal book, but it depends on the day, how she's feeling. But I will tell you, after she leaves class, I go right to my email so I can find her journal so I can read it. I look forward to reading what she writes every day. One day, I assigned the students to write a biography on anybody they could choose. She asked me if she could write an autobiography. So I said, yes, I'm flexible. And so she wrote her autobiography. And I have to tell you, I read it on a Friday afternoon, and it was all I could think about for the entire weekend and every minute after that. I constantly think about the autobiography of Sinead Davis, and it's going to be something that sticks with me for the rest of my life. And I hope as your autobiography grows that you go on and that's your best-selling novel, because it's already, you just have to publish it. It's amazing. And we had a journal last week. I recently suffered a family loss, and one of the journals I gave to the students was, at the end of your days, what would you like people to say about you? And her reply was, I want to be known as the girl who succeeded. And what I can say about that is, you already are. So, congratulations. And I want an autographed copy when that novel comes out. There you go. Thank you very much. Our next presenter is Mr. Meyer.
Good evening. I'm Mr. Meyer, and if you didn't know, the Academy has another set of classrooms over at the mall called Career Quest. And I'm a teacher over there, and the students I'm going to call up tonight are our students over there. Mackenzie Powers, Jacob Ferguson, Darian Myers, and Jacob Goebel. Glad to see you. This is my family. This is my math family. Mackenzie? All right. Come stand by me. Mackenzie cost me some money this year. We have a big test. It's a PERT test. There's a test that every student that graduates has to pass. And from Career Quest, I sent 8 students marching over one day. And I pleaded with them, somebody pass. In fact, if somebody passes, I'll buy donuts for tomorrow. Mackenzie cost me 2 dozen donuts. She is, I call her Miss Easygoing. She marched out of that room that day, not sweating, not intimidated, came back with a smile. Thank you. Now, Jacob cost me more money. So, about a week later, I gave the test again, and I said, if 2 of you pass today, we'll get chicken wings. And I had a student pass early that day on her first attempt. Jacob said, let me try again. I let him take the test again, and he came close. He improved again. He said, let me take it again. This is the 3rd time in one day. After lunch, he renourished. Was it a Mountain Dew you had? Gave him a little energy. He came back and blew the score away. Cost me 50 chicken wings to feed the class. And his award is never give up.
That's great. See you, man.
See ya. All right, so now I have Jacob, my rock. He's there every day. He's taught me a lot of stuff. We sit and talk, found out the difference between a blacksmith, right, and a furrier. I thought a blacksmith was the guy who put the shoes on the horses. It's not. That's the furrier. The blacksmith makes the swords. So he comes every day. Actually shook me up. Was it this week or last week? He didn't miss a day and scared me. So I call him Mr. Dependable. Great guy to have in the class. He's the anchor of the math department. Thanks for being there. All right, Mackenzie, you can go sit down, but you got to stay for one more award. My other half that teaches at Career Quest is Miss Lacasio. And it's kind of a unique night tonight. Every month we award students Student of the Month. And it's done in front of their peers. But because we had awards night tonight, and you had your family here, where's the family? Okay, there's the family. April Student of the Month is Jacob Goble. All right, thank you. Now, give me this back. Because we're going to give it to you again in front of the student body at the end of the week. All right? Okay. All right, so thanks for coming up. Thanks, Miss L. I get to introduce now my better half, or my other half. I don't know which it is, but Mrs. Meyer.
You know, hi, by the way, my name's Laura Meyer. I'm an English teacher, and I happen to be married to Mr. Meyer for 44 years. Yes, we were babies when they hooked us up. It's working out pretty good, right, darling? You know what's weird is, before I start my awards, you used to eat pot pies, like 89-cent pot pies every day. Then you went over to the mall, and now I find out it's chicken wings. What else is going on over there? Mall lunches. I'm over here eating still 89 pop. Yeah, I'm going to get a job somewhere. All right, where there's a food court, yeah? All right, I'm going to call up two really great women. Alexis Jackson, would you come up to the front? And Misty Swazel. Wait, why'd you go that way? I know, yeah. Stay right here. Stay here with me. I'll do you first. We'll wait for Misty to make her entrance. It's a long speech. It's not a long speech. You know, Miss Greenwood and I got into conversation about Game of Thrones today. And I was thinking you girls were just like Daenerys before this last episode, okay? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay. Powerful women. Right here, you're looking at two powerful women. First, I'm going to talk about Alexis. Her award is for most determined to succeed. I want to recognize Alexis tonight for being one of the hardest working students I've ever met. Not only does she always stay on top of her work, but she helps other students by encouraging them to turn in their assignments and get their grade up. When I think about Alexis's future, I imagine her running something for sure. I see her being the boss lady. Maybe a little bossy in there, but I mean, she can do it. She is the person who knows what to do and how to do it right, and she doesn't settle for almost. Where's her family tonight? She'd be extremely proud of this girl. I'm telling you, she could just focus on herself, but she always tried to, well, she actually was nagging the other students, but they got it done because she made them do it, so I'm really proud of her. I know that she has plans to continue her education. There have been some big field trips to several college campuses all during the year, but one afternoon, I was lucky enough to take just 4 students, 4 girls and I, rode over to a college open house. And I watched Alexis, and she visited all the various programs. She asked really tough questions. I believe she will definitely pursue her dreams with a willingness. This is the part that all students need to remember. Everything comes with working hard. There's no easy way. And if anybody dare throw something in her way, she's going to leap over it and win. I could wish her luck, but there's no sense in that, because she doesn't need luck. She has skill and determination, and I am very privileged to have had a student like her this year. So I just wanted to congratulate you, okay? Here's your award. All right. I'm going to get Misty next. Miss Elle, would you come up with me? You know, it's been my job for a long time to embarrass Misty, but tonight I got a surprise for you. You can just cry because we're just going to be nice, okay? Just sob away. Tonight, Miss Elle and I, we wanted to do this together because we love you together, about the same, okay? We wanted to recognize one of the students who caught our eyes the very first day she came into our classes. She was a middle school student, eager to learn and prove to the world that she could accomplish her goals.
Now, some time has passed since that young, impressionable, bright-eyed girl started at the academy. She has grown up and begun to spread her wings, and we don't see much of her anymore. And in fact, we both realize we miss her very much. She has a car and a job, and she doesn't have a full schedule, so the time together at school just hasn't been the same as it once was. But we do know she is prepared for the next step. She has filled out her scholarship applications, her FAFSA request is complete, and she has already received her college acceptance letter to FSW.
You're looking at two college girls right here, I think. Our little girls are growing up and they're moving on. But we know that wherever she goes and whatever she does, that we have always been the lucky ones to have known her at this stage in her life. Like every parent knows, everybody out there knows your kids are getting ready to go. This little chick is flying the coop, but these two old hens will be right here if you need anything. Congratulations.
And I happen to be the next person up, so it worked out perfectly. So my awards, if you please come on up, are Anthony Lopez, Hannah Kennemer, Porter Weiland, and Brittany Norton. I also have Michael Taylor, which I do not believe he's here, and Faith Ruiz as well. So if you all could come on up, that'd be fantastic. Oh, is Faith here? Faith is here? Oh, okay. And while we're waiting for Brittany to come up, I am Miss L. I am the math teacher here at the Academy. It's Miss Lukachkova, for those of you that were wondering. I will start with Hannah. So Hannah is receiving the Get It Done with Excellence Award. Hannah is a very focused young lady, and unfortunately, due to circumstances in her life, she does miss quite a bit of school. But even through all of that, she has maintained an A in the math class and works very, very diligently and very, very hard in order to keep on top of everything, no matter how many days she's out. So I think that's very admirable for her to go through what she's going through and to also just be an amazing, happy, smiling, beautiful young lady. So I think it's wonderful that she is doing what she needs to get done to move on in her life, and hopefully that the future is nice and bright for her. So get it done with excellence. Next, I have Porter Weiland. So come on over, Porter. Go ahead and do a little switcheroo. All right, so Porter came to us, was it after spring break or before? After spring break. So he came to us the second half of the semester, and I have enjoyed having this phenomenal young man in math class. At first he was a little quiet, just kind of sat there in the middle of the room, getting his work done, just very, very diligent, very wonderful. Everything was done perfectly to a T and very quickly as well. And over the time that he's been in the class, people have started to kind of lean on him too for help, and he has been very, very helpful to others in the class, and people do reach out to him. So it's wonderful to see how he has kind of opened up and allowed himself to accept what the Academy is and to move on also in his future. So it's been lovely having you, and you're an amazing young man. And next we have Brittany, and I know Anthony's standing here sweating it, hoping for me to get it done, but I'm not. So next we have the lovely Brittany Norton, and Brittany is just awesome, with an exclamation point, if not two. She is getting the Teacher's Right Hand Award, because she truly is. We love having Brittany, and it's just a joy to have her in class. Anybody that has had her will know that. She has a 98%, and I still haven't put in that extra credit, I'm sorry. But that's still not good enough. She wants to get 100, and I think that is just beautiful and admirable. And even though, like Mr. Ham said, we have so many students that are just driving us nuts and draining us, I think the students that we have coming up here are our shining stars and do make our days and our lives and our jobs so much better and so much easier. So these are the ones that we hang our hats on, and Brittany is definitely an example of that. Let's see, what else do I want to say about, and one thing I love about Brittany, being teacher's right hand, I listen to the way she explains things to students and I just smile because she'll explain things the way I do. She won't give anybody an answer when they seek her help. She will walk them through the process. And it's really, really neat to hear a student doing what I do, saying what I say, asking the questions that I would ask. It just makes your heart warm and makes you realize, hey, that's pretty awesome. You're pretty awesome. So thank you. And lastly, we have Anthony Lopez. That's right. Looking all stoic over here. I wanted to give him the Mr. Literal Award, and he knows why, because he is a pretty literal guy, and I love it. It's hilarious. But instead, I decided to do Mr. Motivated, because he is also a very, very motivated young man. He goes above and beyond in all of his classes, and even though I like embarrassing him, actually, I found out he made the mistake, actually, of telling me that his family found out about prom after the fact and that they were kind of upset. So what did Miss L do? Right away, I knew he was getting an award, so I called in the middle of class home, spoke to Grandma, letting her know that this young man has been receiving an invitation for awards night, and that way she would not miss out and the family did not miss out on something wonderful that he is doing. And when I did that, poor Anthony walked out of my room, was in the hallway, looking in the door, seeing when I was done. So this young man is just phenomenal. In the mornings, he comes and visits and just sits and says hi. I do have him second period of the day, so I get to see him in the mornings. And then usually he finishes his work for Mr. Brantley early, so he pops in fourth hour just to kind of hang out. But the things that he does and things that he's involved with the programming and just his intellect, it's just amazing. It's just, again, another beautiful thing, just like I said about Brittany. It's just great to have these students in your room because they are the ones that you are there for, and they're the ones that you have to remind yourself that this is why I love my job. So thank you very much, Anthony. All right, thank you. All right, y'all may have a seat. And next up, we have Ms. Locasio.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Cascio. I am part of 3 that work at Career Quest. We have wonderful Mr. Meyer, who is our math teacher, myself for English and Social Studies, and the wonderful Ms. Sharda Ali, who pretty much keeps everything running and keeps us all in line and keeps the attendance and keeps pretty much everything going. I have 4 awards tonight, and hopefully they're all here. Ms. Janila Laws, Jacob Ferguson, and Avanel Tyler, and Donna Corona Salea. I see 1, 2. Jacob, I'm going to have you come over here first, because you ran off the last time, and I want to make sure I can catch you before you take off again. You're beautiful. I wanted to start with Jacob. Jacob is newer to us, and he's one of our youngest students. And he's pretty much everybody's little brother now, which means he can be pesky, and he can be silly, but he can also be very sweet. And our young ladies here have, them and Janila, all of them have taken him under their wings sometimes and helped him, guided him. And he's been absolutely delightful to us. When he said, well, Ms. Zell, I want to get an A. You don't understand. I have to get an A. I have to get an A. It's not that he has a horrible GPA, but wants to be the best that he can be. So we're very, very proud of him. Also, Jacob has the best attendance of anyone at Career Quest, which in an alternative high school, we always think, please, please let all these kids come every day. Jacob comes every day to school. In fact, he won a prize at Career Quest and got to give his baby sister about a 4-foot-tall bunny. He didn't keep it for himself. Gave it to his little sister. So we would like to give him the Excellent Attendance and Perseverance Award. Thank you, Jane. Yeah, you guys. I want to mention Janila. She's not here. If you put Janila, Avanel, and Donna together, no, that Targaryen girl has nothing as far as sparks with as these 3 do. They are fierce. They don't breathe fire, don't get me wrong, they don't breathe fire. But these 3 are awesome. They sometimes compete, sometimes are very helpful to each other, but as a team, they are amazing young ladies. I'm not going to say which one, but Mr. Ham said, one of these girls is going to be your favorite, and she is one of my favorites, and actually, these three pretty much of my girls are my favorites. But I gave Janila the Positive Person Award. Even when she falls asleep in class, she's still smiling, which I don't understand how you do that, but she does. But she's delightful, she smiles, she's very helpful, and we really appreciate all her positivity. So I did give Janila the Positive Person Award. And then we have Donna. She is our Excellent Classroom Citizen Award. Donna, well, one day she didn't have anything else to do. She started sharpening every pencil in all these different areas. Nobody asked her to do it. She just did it. She'll arrange things for you. She'll pass things out for you. Oh, Mrs. Hell, she actually listens when you talk to her. When we're in the middle of class, she gives positive comments. She's the kind of student that you want to have around any day, all the time. Donna is a great, I call it a citizen, but she is one of the girls that you want in your class that really makes it a joy to come to school. So I gave Donna the Excellent Classroom Citizen Award. Thank you very much, beautiful. And last but not least, Miss Avanel Tyler. I gave her, I kind of coined it because I think Mr. Ham at one point had a Phoenix Award, and I gave a lot of thought to it, and this is my little Phoenix right there. She was at the academy, she was with us, she went away, she came back, and every time she comes back, I enjoy having her in class more than the time before. Out of the blue, after not seeing you for what, about a year? Yeah, she just appeared one day, gave me a hug and said, hey, here I am again. And so I wrote and begged and pleaded with Mr. Ham to give her another chance, and he was very gracious and let us experience Avanel yet again. This year, I really didn't. I usually give the Social Studies Award, the English Award, and all that, and I didn't. She is, because we have a lot of competitions going back and forth. This one's on top this time, this one's on top this time. This child has finished the novel long before I wanted her to finish it this time. So Avanel's like, oh, that's because this one. And she gets all excited, but now I understand. It's because of this clue and that. Shh. And then we'll go on and reading and we'll discuss. She goes, and you can see the light in her eyes. And she's like, all of a sudden, that means that if he did that, then they. She gets so enthusiastic, and that's one of the things I love about Avanel. She's a very, very enthusiastic student, and no matter how many times she leaves us, she comes back, and we're always more and more grateful every time she comes back, but we're going to get her graduated this time, and she's going to go and do great things. So Miss Avanel Tyler, the Phoenix Award. Thank you all very, very, very much. I am privileged. I'm thinking I might get to have a twofer here and introduce Ms. Helen Rowe and Ms. Paula Hannon at the same time. Oh, nope. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
My bad.
Okay, well, they'll come up later.
Later.
This is lovely Miss Greenwood.
Hi, sorry. Yeah, I typed the order and did it wrong. All right, so I am Ms. Greenwood. I've had the pleasure of teaching science, marine science, and environmental here, and I would like to call up Logan Nelson, Stephen Gibson, Hannah Kennemer, James Maybe, and Chance Driggers. While they're coming up, I just want to thank you all for allowing me to be your teacher. I've loved my time in the classroom with you. This truly, truly is a very special place to work. One-of-a-kind school and a dream job. I've loved it. Come on over this way. Let's see. Logan, you're going to be first. Logan. So I've had the pleasure actually of having Logan in 2 of my science classes, and tonight I'm giving you the Keystone Player Award. In biology, a keystone species is a species of plant or animal that produces a major impact on its ecosystem. Logan, you produce a major impact in our classroom. You contribute to our lessons, to our conversations. You take your time and think things through. But more importantly, and I tell you this often, you are so special with the time you take to look out for your classmates. I always cry every year, and I said I wasn't going to cry this year, so I'm going to try hard. You are genuine, you are caring, you are the special type of person that makes people feel good about themselves. And I compare it to, us older folk will know, a Jimmy Buffett song, like you just make people feel good. It's a special quality, not everyone has it. You will go far by always looking out for others. I'm so proud of you, and I've loved being your teacher. Okay, Mr. Stephen Gibson, you are next. So Stephen joined us partway through the year. When did you come? Probably should know this, but I don't. Okay, February. And anyone who knows Stephen can tell you he is the real deal. You are genuine, always smiling. I've given you an Inquisitive Learner Award. It has truly been a pleasure to be your teacher this year. You ask great questions. You're always respectful. You're kind. One of my favorite stories I'm going to share this year is when we went on a field study to Charlotte Harbor Environmental Center. We went in the water, collected specimens, and had a field guide there that took us through that. But after, that particular location is connected to the Peace River Wildlife Center, and Logan had never seen an owl in person. I swear it's one of my favorite. Stephen, did I just say Logan? Sorry, Stephen, thank you. Stephen had never seen an owl in person. I think it's one of my favorite teaching moments ever, the moment you walked up, and we were so lucky the day we were there. They actually had some people who owned rescued owls and had them like on the walkway so we could get like this close. You were so intrigued and into it, and it was just a beautiful thing to see. And you were genuine. Your genuine interest in learning is everything a teacher strives to have in a classroom and a student. So it's been great being your teacher. Sorry, I called you Logan. All right. Next is Hannah. I promise to try not to call you Logan. Okay. Hannah, I feel like I'm going to absolutely repeat everything that Miss L said already about you. You are getting an Excellence in Science Award. I've also had the pleasure of having Hannah in 2 different science classes. And everything that Miss L said is true. You go above and beyond. When you're not with us, you're texting me on Remind. Sorry I wasn't here today. What did I miss? Can I get it on Google Classroom? And you are always so conscientious. Will take you far in life. You also have a great ability to set goals in our class and track them, and I've loved watching you set your goals. I'm going to get this car, I'm going to save this much money every week, and then achieve it, and I'm so proud of you. I do believe you want to go into working with assisted living, is that right? You have the kindness for it that our elderly population will truly benefit from. I love being your teacher. James. All right, James. So James also came to us February, mid-year, and I feel like you just fit right in. Like you came and you were just a member of the Wolf Pack. You have a very charismatic way about you, so when I was trying to decide on what award to give you, it wasn't easy to name just one. But I went with Mr. Go With The Flow. Because you are very easygoing, very cooperative. I can ask you to work with this person, work with that person, run an errand for me, anything you can do, you are always willing to help. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. You are kind to everyone. You have a really good work ethic, including today where he's like, so I had this assignment excused when we went to Busch Gardens Senior Grad Bash, but if I do it, can I get assignments? Because I'm like 1% away from the next grade. And that work ethic is great. You're a great guy. I've loved being your teacher. I wish you were here with us longer. And you're very appreciative. I must comment and say good job to your family, because this is a kid who is always prom evening at the end of the night. This was amazing. Thank you for this opportunity. Grad Bash, same thing. Very, very appreciative of you as a student. You're welcome. Chance, come on over. All right. Chance. All right. So Chance, I'm going to try and say this without yelling because we have this banter in class that Chance has kind of two voice levels. One is kind of the quiet, sitting across from you, just quiet, and the next is, you know what I mean, just loud. And so I've adapted to him, and when he asks a question like, do I have to do this? My response is yelling back, yes! So that's been our banter. As recently as last week, when I thought was like the coolest lesson we were going to do, I had waited since September to get an albatross bolus, which is their regurgitated stomach contents, and I know, it was pretty cool. I was pretty excited. They were going to dissect him and look and analyze what was in it, and sadly way too much plastic, which was the focus of analyzing him. So by fourth period comes along, they walk in. The room may or may not have smelled, not that bad at that point, but Chance was like, I am not doing this. I was like, yes, come on, it'll be good. No, not doing it, which I've experienced. It starts off as a no, and then I managed to convince him, and then later the gloves are on. He's like leading the pack in the dissection, doing a great job. So the award I give to you, because that wasn't the first time that I've had to like convince him to try to do something, the award is ditching the comfort zone. So you are a little stubborn, a little stubborn to do things at first, but I will say also that you're not easy to build trust with someone, but I feel like when you do, you are super loyal. And anyone that earns your trust is truly going to benefit from that, and they're fortunate because you're caring and loyal. So for ditching your comfort zone, I hope you take that with you. Learn in life that sometimes things are worth putting yourself in a position that you're not always comfortable with, and that you learn from it and you grow as a person. I'm so proud of you. And I'm glad you came. And that's all I have. Good job. Thank you, guys. Hopefully the order is right. I think this just went off. This just, hello? Is it off? Huh? Mr. Erickson is next. Maybe with the mic, maybe not.
Maybe with the mic, maybe not. We'll talk loud. Curtis Birch, Emilio Higginbotham, Preston Welch, Tegan Cuttle, and Richard Trey Hummer. Come on up. We don't need no stinking mic.
This worked out well.
All right, timing's everything. While they're changing the battery, I'll bring the big boys. Come on up. Curtis was going to get consistency in getting work finished. Immediately after I gave him that award, I assigned a short story where the children's hostility towards the parents causes a virtual reality room to generate real lions that eat the parents. His response to the question, what kind of family life did they have, was, they're a happy, loving, well-adjusted family. Next year's award for him will be doing his work consistently well and reading the stories first. Anyway. Emilio Higginbotham, on the other hand, got the Thoughtful Reflection and Reading Award because he actually read the stories first. His work was slower coming in, but better done. Next up,
we have Mike. All right, you guys have a normal voice now. Just in time to talk about Preston. I had Preston for English last semester, and I have him now for geometry this semester. His award is diligence in geometry, and diligence just is the semester approach he's had this semester. Preston is not flashy, he does not get things done fast, but he just consistently is plodding along with understanding and doing the right thing. And I just wanted to award him for just being very diligent and working hard and doing an excellent job. The next gentleman, Tegan Tuttle, is getting my U-turn award. Yeah, this man, he could have also got the best dressed for success. Every Wednesday, except for one, I think we forgot it was Wednesday. This man comes dressed at night. It looks good. It looks really good. But the U-turn award goes to Tegan in the first quarter of this semester. He struggled, and he was distracted, and he wasn't doing what I do, and he knew it. Second quarter of this semester, he has really turned it around and been consistent. He's been in class every day, he's working hard every day, he's doing well on his tests every day, and he's just done a really remarkable job of getting himself where he needs to be for success down the road. So, congratulations. Last but not least, there are many days when teachers go home thinking, no one heard a word I said today. When you've been asked for the 17th time in the same class period, do you have an assignment today? Or how do I do this problem that you just explained on the board and is on 3 different places? I've got answers to quiz items on the board that they don't notice. However, the award for Mr. Hummer is this, the Geometry Application Award of Excellence. This man comes in after I taught something on Friday and says, guess what we did Saturday? We used the Pythagorean theorem to lay out foundations. I was like, yes! Somebody's listening! Thank you, Trey. Thank you. You did the application.
All right. And with that, we'll give you a little calmer, Miss Cappy.
Hi, I'm Kate Cappy. I teach the sciences at the Academy. I'd like to call forward Porter Weiland, Serena McMillan, Hunter Bruce, Sierra Allgood, and Dylan Postel. All right, so real quick about Dylan. The first time I saw Dylan, I had him for biology, and he didn't quite stay awake for my fascinating biology lessons. But he's turned it around. I have him for Earth Science now, and he's much more engaged, so I gave him Most Improved. Sierra Allgood. One of my highlights of my day is seeing Sierra come in, and she just always has a smile on her face. Very kind, very humble kind of person, always willing to talk with anyone in the room. So I gave her Most Kind and Humble. And then Hunter Bruce, I've had him for 2 different courses. He's a very smart worker. He's frequently checking focus and reminding me of anything that I may have forgotten to put in there. And Hunter is not afraid to voice his opinions, so I gave him powerful persistence. So on with these 2 lovely people up here. Serena joined my class just this last quarter. And right from the start, she's hit the ground running. She was there to do business, and she might have had some setbacks, but she always continues to go forward. Serena doesn't give up on her science work, and she continues to work hard every day. So for that, I appreciate that. And I'm giving her the Girl with Grit Award. All right, last but not least, Porter. All right, so in science class, just in science in general, one of the best characteristics to have is to question everything. And Porter has challenged me personally as a teacher with some really innovative questions, and unfortunately right now I can't really think of any of them. But it definitely got me thinking. Porter goes above and beyond with his biology projects. I remember him doing, I think, a overhunting project, and he had to present it to the class. I don't think he even wanted to come up, but he came up, he did it. He really did an excellent job. So thank you for the curious mind. That's your award. Thank you. Okay, next person is Miss Brooks, who's going to be presented by Miss Greenwood.
Okay. Miss Brooks couldn't be here tonight, so I will present for her, and I'm very proud because I know these 3 students well: Jacob Panoski, Anthony Lopez, and Anthony Whitehead. Please come up. So So I don't think Anthony Whitehead made it, so as you guys are coming up, I will just kind of highlight what she has said. Anthony is her student with $1 million smile. Anyone who knows him would agree with that. He's a diligent worker, and she's proud of his academic growth and this grading term, and she wants him to keep up the good work, and continue brightening our days with your smile. So, Anthony, Ms. Brooks would like to say to you, Mr. Lopez, that she will always remember you as her timekeeper. You're very timely and keeps her aware of your schedule. You are always prompt in submitting your assignments, and you've been a joy to have in class. And she wishes you many blessings to you as you embark on the next chapter of your life. Good job. We're so proud of you. And Mr. Panofsky, looking sharp tonight. So Jacob gets and I don't think I read your award, I'm sorry. Let me just make sure we're all acknowledging you for what you're getting. Academic excellence, good job. So Jacob is being presented with the Most Helpful Award, and she says that you should get a stipend for being her teacher assistant and having you in class. I can attest that you are very helpful. She would like to thank you for always helping your peers with their assignments. It's been great having you in class. You always make her laugh. She wishes you to continue being the kind person you are, and wishes you the very best. Okay, that's all I have. Good job. All set? You guys may come. Thanks. And next is Mr. Brantley.
Tonight I would like to call up, first of all, I'm Mr. Brantley. I teach algebra here at the Academy. I'd like to call up Zachary Broman, Anthony Lopez, Jarrell Joseph, Kavon Jackson, and Alexis Jackson. Who else here? 3? Okay. All right, while the others are coming up here, I'll start with Mr. Lopez. So he just came to me a couple, about 7 weeks ago, and after lunch, I have him 4th period, and I look out there and I'm like, who is this guy by my door? As he's standing here with his glasses on, like these. And he's standing right by my door. Here, you can have those back. And I was like, those are really his glasses. And I was like, who is this guy here? I hadn't seen him around campus much anywhere. And he gave me this blank stare, and I was like, how you doing? You know, so then he comes in my room, takes a seat, and seemed very disinterested. Looked kind of like he hated me at first, but after a little while, you know, I got to know him, and if he knows, I aggravate him a little bit to get to where I can kind of read the kids and get a good vibe from him. And now he's the most conscientious kid that I have in my 4th period class. First thing he does when he walks in is he walks up to my desk and he's like, where's my work? And I'm like, so I'm always like, slow your roll, go have a seat. And then he's like, no. So then I end up giving him his work. And he likes to try the work before I actually do the lesson in algebra, which is kind of a little different. But, you know, I always appreciate him as far as the way he works in class, as he's been up here for every teacher. Obviously, he's a great student. He has a bright future ahead of him. And he does need to come out of his shell a little bit. But other than that, I mean, once you really get to know him, he's one of the best students I've had here at the Academy. And I've been here for 15 years, so thank you. Let's see here. Miss Jackson, Lord have mercy. I told her I wasn't going to give her an award, but even though she comes in at 8:15 every day with no breakfast for me. But she is everything that everyone else said. She has a bright future. To be honest with you, last year She was not one of my favorite people on campus. Not because I even had her in class. I just see her running around. She was loud, boisterous, all this. But once you get to know her and she sat down in my class, she's really intelligent. She's driven. She's all the things that every teacher said before. And she's got a bright future ahead of her. One thing I really want to give her commendation on tonight is how she separated herself from the different crowds that was distracting her. So she's doing really well, and as she's been up here quite a lot tonight, congratulations, thank you for everything. Zach is not here. I want to talk about him briefly. Zach's a young kid. He kind of is like Anthony Jr., I call him, because them two are bum rushing me as soon as I walk in the door before I can even sit down to get their assignments, because they want to see who can finish it first. Zach's a great kid. They both have almost 100% in my class. Anthony does have 100% in my class. Zach has a 99. So before I get to Jarrell, I'd like to also mention Kavon Jackson. Kavon, I gave him the Persistence in Algebra Award. All Kavon needed when he came from Port Charlotte was the PERT test. He had very low hopes of passing that and spent about over 2 weeks, probably at least 13 hours, I counted them up, just with me and him, going over all the different problems that was going to be on the PERT. And he ended up passing the PERT with one of the highest scores that we've had here at the Academy that I know of. So, and last is Correll. Correll just came in as this quiet guy, and I don't know what happened. Yeah, you heard me. Can you not hear me? Quiet. Yeah, quiet. So that lasted about 30 seconds. No, Correll is actually, as everybody stood up here, there's students here, and they're all in here tonight that make the Academy what it is. And there's kids that you truly enjoy. And he was one of them, right? He's my son, so I gotta get a little emotional, but. And from day one, it's not a joke. I really did call him Jarrell, because I don't know why. I just said Joseph and Jarrell, and I kept calling him Jarrell, and then finally after like 2 weeks, he was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "My name's Correll," and I was like, "Well, not anymore, it's Jarrell." So, and then it got to be Deputy Jarrell. We won't get into all that, but
Sheriff, no.
No, he's still the deputy. He will never be the sheriff. But I really enjoy all these guys here. As I said, this is a special place to work, and thank you guys. Next up is going to be Miss Blanchette. She's going to be presenting the awards for Miss Bisson.
All right, Brandon.
You okay? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. All right. Nervous. Just so you know.
That was not staged. It happens every year. Wait till graduation.
Okay. I'm not even touching it. All right. I am Miss Blanchette, but clearly on your program, this is Miss Bisson, so I am giving her awards because Mr. Ham doesn't like me and he's removed me from the high school side. So in January, I was at the high school side for forever, and then I'm not sure what I did, and so I'm in pass right now. So, but that's okay. I'm just kidding. No, really, I am in pass, so I didn't, I guess, get the invitation to give awards either. So, whatever, Miss Greenwood. But just kidding. I love you. This is my one opportunity. So anyway, so Miss Bisson has given 3 awards, so I'm going to call you up. Anthony Whitehead, Kenneth Rowe, and Chris Tynes.
Thank you.
Really?
Now
Okay, so Anthony Whitehead got determination, apparently not to attend. Kenneth Rowe got puts first things first, and Chris Tynes got most improved effort. So give them a hand. All right. Next up is our amazing Mr. Baker.
Let's go that way. That's so awesome.
That's a long way from the back of the room. I'm winded. I need an ice cream bar. Stat. Okay. I have 4 okay, now I know why she dropped this thing. This is like some kind of Doctor Who contraption. I don't know. Okay. I know. It reminds me of the scene from Empire Strikes Back with Han Solo when they're torturing him and he's like, okay. If they can reference Game of Thrones all night, I can reference Star Wars. All right. All right, I've got a few students here I'd like to recognize. Jamal Washington. Clarissa Sanchez. Michael Taylor, who's not here, and Trey Hummer. Come on up. I had a reminder just today about what a nice place the Academy is and something in a way that makes it special. Years ago, when dinosaurs ruled the earth, I used to teach at a different high school in the county, which will remain nameless. It rhymes with Tarlet, my school. Anyway, I was there after school today to drop off some paperwork, and I was only there 20 minutes, and by the time I got in the car, I was nervous and shaky and sweating, and because it just felt like a million people crushing down on me. It was awful, and I thought, I just want to go home, meaning here. So it was kind of nice. It gives us the chance to really get to know a smaller number of students, including people like Jamal Washington, who, one quote got him this award. Not that his work isn't worth it, it is, and not that his personality isn't worth it, it is. He gets the Academy Newshawk Award for journalism. He did some great work in the class. He's making like the Heaven's Gate of graduation movies. It's going to be amazing. But I was watching his senior video, which will be playing in the lobby at graduation, and it'll be on our YouTube channel, The Academy Wolfpack on YouTube. Subscribe. And he was clearly having a good time talking about, his plans and how special things are. And towards the end of his video, he was talking to his fellow graduates about his recipe for success. And he kind of pauses and he kind of looks up like this with this odd little smile. And he said, always give up, never stop, and do it with a smile on your face, because a smile can go a long way. And every once in a while, a little pearl of wisdom drops out of one of these teenagers, and you think, you know what, we're going to be okay. So Jamal Washington, we're going to be okay. Next up is Clarissa Sanchez. I've got a standing rule. I've got a standing rule in the journalism class that if you want to be in the class, you have to go on camera one time. One time, because it never fails. Students always say, oh, I'm camera shy. I'm going to throw up if I'm camera. And I get on Facebook and I say, okay, that's why you've got the same web presence as Kim Kardashian. Sure, you're camera shy. But in this case, she's kind of camera shy, I'm not going to lie. But you know what? If you climb on YouTube and look at our last broadcast, guess who's giving the news broadcast? That would be Clarissa Sanchez. She took her fear, she put it in a little box, and she tossed it out the window. She did a good job with it. She gets the Academy Newshawk Award. I like to call her all go, no quit, Clarissa Sanchez, because she works until it's done and she works until it's right. And I don't think I've ever seen her have an expression on her face other than a smile, which Jamal was talking about. So it makes it a pleasure to be around. This is for you, my dear. We've got one for Michael Taylor. I'll give that to him later. And then lastly, Trey Hummer. Okay. So here we go. He's got the quote of the year. A smile goes a long way that's really like the real quote of the year. But then you've got the real favorite, you know. He's got the quote of the year. Every once in a while as a teacher, you come across a student who they'll say something and you'll think, oh my God, that's a little bit of me in there. Okay. You know, you see a little glimmer of the person you used to be in this teenager and you think, oh, okay, all right. And you kind of watch for them and see how they work. And sure enough, Trey's that guy. He comes in and he has this look on his face like he just, you know, learned how to split the atom or, you know, solve world hunger. He looks at me and he says, Baker, something occurred to me today. And I said, what? And he said, Lynyrd Skynyrd's Swamp Music is a really good song. And I thought, yes, it is. It is a good song, but Trey's got he's got a knack for the technical side of the news making process, editing the video, playing with the doodads, that kind of thing. He could literally get a job with NBC2 as a tech tomorrow. He's that good with that kind of stuff. So good at it. I said, you know, what are you going to work on today in your broadcast? He said, I don't know. I just want to be busy. I want to make sure it's good. Somehow, 3 minutes later, he talked about Guy Fieri of Flavortown. And the quote was, he's,
Guy Fieri. I always call him Guy Fieri.
Right, because he's diligent and little, which just hit me the right way, diligent and little. So, yeah. Two things I never heard together. So Trey Hummer, future broadcast editor. And next up, we have Earl Ashley from the Social Studies Department.
Mr. Baker.
Yes.
Is this going to be on YouTube?
Yes, it'll be up tomorrow.
My name is Mr. Ashley, and I teach social studies here at the Academy. Will the following students please come to the stage? Shelby Alberts, Porter Weiland, Taylor Wellborn, and Jordan Campagna. All right, the following students are going to be receiving awards for being outstanding students in U.S. history. These students participated in class and were always engaged. Not only were they excellent students, but they also juggled school along with extracurricular activities. First, we have Shelby, excellent student. Shelby, I told her about her raising a prize-winning pig and winning an award at the Charlotte County Fair. So I spent a lot of time asking her questions about pigs and maybe possibly a side hustle. How much is the feed? How long do you have to keep the pig? And the different cuts of meat in the pig. My favorite being ham. Next is Porter Weiland, excellent student. Porter also has a part-time job, and he is a shift leader at a restaurant, right? So we see food, right? Okay. Porter's an excellent student. He's an extension of me. Next up. Taylor Wellborn. Taylor is also an excellent student, and Taylor's just a great all-around student. I've been spending the last couple of days trying to pick his brain to try to find out what he does without letting him know that he would be receiving an award tonight. Taylor. Great all-around guy. Engaged, participates in class. Next is Jordan. Jordan went to Washington, D.C. with a group of other Academy students, where he was able to learn about U.S. history and government hands-on. So he's also a very excellent student, asks a lot of questions in class. So when I'm teaching class and you hear crickets chirping and no one's participating, Jordan's the one that comes up with that question, okay? It makes teaching the class all worthwhile. So thank you, Jordan. But the point I was trying to make here was that the things that these students do extend beyond the classroom. So excellence extends beyond the classroom. So it has been a pleasure having you all in my class this year. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause. Next up is Mr. Ham.
I want to thank I want to thank baby Jesus. This place is crazy. It's crazy. No, Mr. Trash, you the man, dude. Thank you so much. This is how award ceremonies should be, man. They're real. We keeps it real, son. Woo! All right, we're about to land the plane here. Next is Academy Scholarships. So obviously it's a great accomplishment to graduate high school. So the Academy is honored each year to watch students not only complete their high school requirements, but transition into post-secondary education. So as a small token, we'd like to award a few students with a $500 scholarship that will give them a small assistance in what they are going to pursue next. We wish we could give them full rides, but obviously that's a lot of money. But before I do this, I think it's very important that I take a moment to recognize Mrs. Meyer. And I'll say Mrs. Meyer has been at the Academy for a few years. Can I say how many? Well, less than 44. Yes, for 20. For 20 years, and along with Mrs. Rowe, I think you're the two original Academy staff members who have been here since the start of the Academy to the present moment, and still living. But with that being said, Mrs. Meyer has done a great job, along with a lot of staff, and I don't mean to leave people out, but in this particular situation, Mrs. Meyer has come up with a great strategy to help students fill out their financial aid application. She takes students to FSW and CSF to tour campus, and then she actually brings on the guidance counselor, the admissions counselor to FSW to meet with these students at the Academy individually to complete out their application, and then most of them receive their acceptance on the spot. So that individualized attention, we have had more students transition from the Academy to FSW, and I just wanted to say thank you, Mrs. Meyer, for all of that. And all the staff, because if it wasn't for everybody, this village, it would be very difficult to do that. All right, so we have 3 recipients. So if they could please join us for this $500 scholarship to assist. Miss Casey Bruno, come on up. Shanae Davis. Misty Swatzel, come holler. And as I listen to awards given out to students, I'm going to add one on the fly. I don't have a plaque for you, but I will do that tomorrow. Alexis Jackson, I want you to join us up here. I'm going to give you a $500 scholarship as well. That's $2,000, and the Academy were always broke, so to come up with $2,000 is a lot of money. So we're very, very proud of you young ladies of taking that step that you need to take in order to fill out your FAFSA, to fill out your applications, and to transition into the next step of your education. So we are so proud of you and so thankful to see you do such a great job. So congratulations. Did you? You guys are good. Yep. I'm gonna hook you up. All right. The next scholarship is the CCSLA scholarship, which is the Charlotte County School Leadership Association, which I'm honored to be a part of. And I'm able to talk this association into also awarding another student with a $500 scholarship that they donate to us each semester. Mr. Brad Donner, who is going to receive this tomorrow, I tried to talk him into coming in today, but like many of our kids, he needed to work. He's down at Fisherman's Village working tonight, so Mr. Don will be recognized tomorrow over morning announcements as being a recipient of the Charlotte County School Leaderships Association Scholarship. Our last scholarship, if I could have Ms. Hannon and Ms. Rowe join me up to stage, they're going to recognize a teen parent with a scholarship. It's the Ray Conjoinen Scholarship. Ms. Conjoinen was a longtime teen parent teacher educator who unfortunately passed away a few years ago, and her husband, in her honor, donates quite a bit of money into an account that supports teen parents and our teen parent program. So we have honored her in her memory with a scholarship, and tonight these two ladies are going to present the award winner.
Thank you, Mr. Han. My name is Ms. Hannon. I'm the school social worker here.
And I'm Helen Rowe. I'm the nurse.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. The young lady we're going to call up tonight is actually receiving 2 awards, and it's Kiana Duncombe. So please join us on the stage. Okay, she was supposed to be. All right, but we're just going to let you know. The one is the award that I'm going to give her. The teacher was not able to be with us tonight, so she wanted me to give her an award for completing the Nurturing Parenting Training Program, and she's going to get a gift certificate for that as well, and then I'm going to let Ms. Rowe give the other award.
Kiana has a plan. She's going to continue her education. She plans on pursuing a career in nursing, and she will be awarded a $750 scholarship.
Thank you, ladies. Congratulations, Kiana. The last 2 awards are the All-Star Award, who I'm going to bring up Mr. Underhill, who's going to present that award. Thank you.
She's risen above her obstacles, but her successes in life are just starting. Finishing high school is just a stepping stone. Shardy has a job and plans to go farther with both her education and a career as a forest ranger or a park ranger. What an amazing accomplishment it is to be so young and so learned. Leadership, character, and success through perseverance is what make this All-Star shine bright for many years to come. The Academy All-Star Award is given out to one student that is not just capable of graduating, but epitomizes the Academy spirit through leadership, strength of character, and success through perseverance. So it's with great honor to present the All-Star Award to Jen Wiles. That's for you.
Did you say a forest ranger?
Yeah.
What is that?
You're going to save the forest. Be one with the trees. Thank you. All right, last award of the evening is the Principal's Award. No one really wants this, so I have to find somebody who... No, I'm kidding. Well, I think so. This semester, I'm giving this award to someone who started the Academy in September of 2017. This particular interview was a very difficult one for me because of the personal and professional struggle I was dealing with internally. They had been working on virtual courses for a few years and were slowly earning credits while quickly falling behind their age group. In the interview, this person was very soft-spoken and shy, And I was asking the typical questions about their motivation and why they weren't in traditional school and what were their interests as I try to get a connection with the child to see if they would be successful at the academy. So the struggle I had was we really wanted to help this individual, but I always look at how can we help the student complete high school in the best fashion possible. And sometimes I have to have what some people think is a tough conversation, and that is recommend the GED. And being here for quite a while, when you look at the GED as a society, unfortunately, we know there's a stigma that it's a bad thing and that it's a failure or it's a easy way out. And I think our staff who works our afternoon program will tell you it's not easy. And it also absolutely gives you an opportunity to move forward in life. You still can pursue a college education, a technical college education, and get a great job with a GED. Because there are certain circumstances that is the best thing for that child, because we're all about moving forward. And would we rather see a student who is overaged sit in high school and hope they get a diploma a few years down the road, or do we want to see them complete these sections of a GED test and move forward quicker? Because time is money, and time is life, and we want to value that as much as possible. So the ultimate solution is try to find the end in mind as quickly and sensible as possible. So the struggle was that I wanted her to be at the academy, but I also wanted to help her move forward quickly. So when I sat there and made my decision to offer the GED, it was not well received in a polite way by her father. Her father had sat there the whole time and just kind of, I think he just sized me up to see what kind of guy I was and what I was going to offer her, his child. And so he respectfully disagreed with me, and he asked that I give her a chance. So I sat back and I evaluated our conversation, and I felt, you know what? If they want a shot, then why not give her an opportunity? And so this guy, her father that I've got to know a little bit, basically said, listen, I'll tell you what, if she does not do well and falls behind, then we will go to GED route. If she continues to be successful, then we will continue with the high school diploma. Fair enough. We're in agreement. We totally understand that we're on the same page. So she started the academy, and 2 years later, she has a 3.6 GPA. She has passed all of her state assessments. She has met her graduation requirements and will be walking next Friday. So she is the example of why the academy is a special place to help students who in some shape or form would have not graduated at a traditional setting, who is not a bad kid, who is still motivated to achieve the ultimate goal of graduating high school. She is why we keep coming back for more. She is why we struggle, but yet times like today and tonight and next Friday remind us that there is still good in our youth and that there are students who deserve a second, sometimes a third. Jen is a prime example because I've kicked her out 3 times and she's come back for more. But she will graduate next Friday as well. And there are certain kids that I never want to see leave. A lot of them I do, like I said earlier. This one, I bug her every day because she works in the front office. She procrastinates like nobody's business. But she deserves this like a lot of you, and I'm sorry that I cannot give out more. But I'm going to award you with a Chromebook and a plaque where you are immortal in academy history. You will be on a plaque in our front office forever. So Miss Casey Bruno, come on up here, girl.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come here, sweetie. Yeah. know you don't like it.
Thank you, Mr. Ham.
Every day I bug you. You're going to finish. You're going to go to college, and you're going to do well. She likes to travel, and she wants to work with students in different languages, right? If I'm correct, something like that? Yes, exactly. So that's awesome. Okay, that's it, but I have a few announcements, and then we're going to get you out of here. Exams for graduates are this Thursday and Friday. Third and fourth period on Thursday, first and second on Friday. On Friday, all of you are invited to our spring fling. Ms. Blanchette and our team has worked hard. If you've not been, this is our second spring fling. What's really cool is we start here in the auditorium, and then we do a little bit of fun stuff, and then we walk out. In any undergrad, we create a tunnel. It's really cool, and all of our graduates march through the tunnel, and we celebrate the grad walk, and it is a really awesome experience. If you've ever want to have some chills, it's going to bring that to you. Free food, we have carnival games, we're giving away laptops, gift certificates, TVs, phones, all that kind of good stuff. So please come on out, it's free, don't worry about it. Bring your kids, bring your family, we'd love to have you. This Friday, starting at noon and ending after school at 2:20. As Ms. Blanchette mentioned, next Friday the 24th is graduation at 4 o'clock. Remember, no tickets, but be there for practice at 9:30. Of course, one more time, thank you for our awesome staff. If we can give them a round of applause. Thank you to our assistant principal, Mr. Underhill. Thank you, Mrs. Greenwood, for putting this together. Thank you all. Have a good night.